my background is in corporate environments for 35 years in a variety of roles, mainly IT digital, but also people management, some risk, and also most relevant to Encore, I guess, is work with diversity networks. First of all, as a steering committee member of an ethnic minority network at Lloyds Banking Group, and then starting my own network, Maximise, for older colleagues at Lloyds Banking Group, which eventually got 3,000 members and a nomination award at the Albert Hall from Business in the Community. I really have got some background in what happens to people later on in their careers, starting to think about what happens beyond those careers at full-time corporates. And so I thought that Encore really is something that I could bring something to, and I hope I've done that so far. Well, after leaving Lloyds Banking Group, for a couple of years I had various sort of projects I was exploring in the field of midlife MOTs. However, I could see the advantage of being associated with an existing and successful champion of people in this position from the experience in the USA. And the idea of getting in on the ground floor, as it were, to help build the UK version of this organisation was very appealing. I think that the word pioneer was used, so that definitely motivated me to want to be part of something new and build something to benefit other people as well. So that's the main motivator. It played to my skills, played to my motivations, pre-existing motivations, and also I felt really good about helping to build something new. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I think the number one challenge really is what I'd probably call deprogramming. Over a long period of time at your existing long-term organisation, you tend to gradually absorb the values of the organisation, which is a good thing while you're there, but your objectives are driven by your boss or the organisation, and I think it takes a while to start to listen to your own inner voice after perhaps many decades of suppressing it and trusting your own judgment rather than just relying on the kind of external feedback that you get from people that you've worked for or with, because that's only focused on one side of your life, your work persona, which supports work goals, and not on other aspects of your life that people won't be aware of. As an example, some time ago I started getting into stand-up comedy. Now I found that I was seen as really not funny at all by my work colleagues, and initially not by anybody else. But I persevered, and I ended up actually doing pretty well for something that was not a full-time career for me, and actually came equal second in a national BBC comedy competition, equal second with Russell Howard, who now sells out Wembley Stadium. So I was in good company, and that was really because I decided to believe in what I could do rather than just driven by feedback from others. So that deprogramming, I think, is really important, and also about the attitudes which you might have, how you approach working with other people, which works in a corporate environment and isn't necessarily the best model beyond that. And if I can add one more challenge, because there are so many of them, I think the whole what's been called the cliff edge of leaving an intense full-time career into what can initially be a bit of a vacuum, that's quite a culture shock, and that takes time to get your head around. So you need to be quite patient with yourself, and I think that Encore really helps give you that space with activity to get your head around what you want to do next. I think at an individual level, it's definitely to act as a sort of temporary applied thinking space, being useful at something different and maintaining your self-esteem in what can be, as I've said, a confusing period of time. That's essential to make a success of all future projects. And at a wider level of society, being seen as a skilled and experienced pair of hands which assists a social sector organisation in a way which also leaves a legacy of best practice, that's obviously the intention, that's got lasting benefits for all future beneficiaries of the great work that organisation is doing. And these two levels are interdependent, and also hopefully it's an example for other potential Encore Fellows. It's a bit like a pebble in a pond. The ripple effects travel far beyond the initial splash. So I think it's got many different advantages. Again, you've asked me for one greatest one, but there's so many that I've been unable to stop myself giving you a few of them. My really exciting project right now is working with my wife Alice. She's been running fun dance exercise classes for 60 plus people for some time, and also working in care homes, doing sort of sing-along, especially with dementia residents and care homes to really stimulate them. And she's been doing very well at that. Unfortunately, the pandemic has stalled that for a while. But as things open up, hopefully that will come online again. And it's coming back in a sort of new incarnation with myself assisting her musically. So something else you possibly didn't know about me is that I've played keyboards, or used to, in bands many years ago. So I'm going to restart that now with supporting her musically on keyboards while she interfaces and engages people in the care home, especially people with dementia. And that's very satisfying for a number of reasons. To see what she does with people with dementia is really heartwarming. It's obviously working with my wife Alice, which I really enjoy doing. It's making music again, which I haven't done for many years, and it's making some money as well. So it satisfies on a lot of different fronts. The second part of your question was how's the Encore Fellowship experience positioned me? I think really it's given me that time for reflection, but what really is it that I want to do? And I realised fairly recently that I did really want to make music again. And I did want to do something socially useful. And also a lot of the practical side of going out to care homes, marketing ourselves as Sing Along with Alice, constructing the website, all those different practical skills which I've had some experience of with Encore have really helped me get this moving as well. So it's helped me practically and I think mentally as well to see myself doing something I really want to do and enjoy doing, and hopefully it'll be a success. Key success factors for Encore Fellowship, I think confidence. So as I've said, the cliff edge can really sap your confidence, and perhaps if your experience in the corporate sphere wasn't always ideal, if the skills that you use or want to use are ones you haven't used for a long time, you might feel a bit rusty. So regaining that confidence, I think, is crucial as a success factor. Ways of working you've learned over many decades don't go out of fashion. So kind of maintaining your own integrity about how you approach things in a way that you know does work. Sometimes possibly even some gentle re-education of some of your colleagues can be helpful. At the same time, of course, you have to be open-minded about the strengths and experiences other people bring to the party, which will be complementary to your own. So there's a mix and match to it, but you should give yourself full credit for what you can do, as well as what other people can assist you with. Beyond that, I think it's being open-minded, being flexible, and believing in what Encore can achieve. You do really have to have some confidence that this program is beneficial to people and to social sector organisations, and you need to believe that. I believe it, and that's why, hopefully, I've had some success with my contributions so far.